G'day guys, Grazy here. We're back with episode 4 of My Team. Business is starting to pick up a bit now. We've got the auction house unlocked and we're starting to do some of the challenges. We've started with the Grizzlies, work our way through them, and as you can see we need to add 2 players so we can actually be eligible for the most recent challenge. So we've gone with Big Mark at the centre and we've gone with Big Mike Conley. Mike's been one of my staples in my team for most of my years playing it. In fact, Big Mike and Mark Gasol, they're two of my regulars, and they've helped me get through quite a few domination games. So we went to Big Mike early. Good to see him back healthy in my team. And he's knocked down a 3, so we've gone with Big Mark. We love getting the newcomers involved early, and when I find a formula that works, I bash it to death and just keep going to it. That was a terrible shot, but it went in, so we're happy with that. There's Big LeBron's made a comeback, kicks it to the open Mike. Mike's a really nice shot actually. He's one of my better 3-point shooters and he's quite an enjoyable player to use, so we're glad to have him. Jay Rich, Mr. Reliable. He never got to play in many wins with the Warriors, so he's loving being on this My squad now. There's the King just driving in. Still enjoying the mode a lot. Got Big Ben Simmons there. He misses, gets his own rebound. Look at the hustle of Big Ben. He's put that up with his right hand and gone in. Is that a sign of things to come for Big Ben? He can shoot. He doesn't know which way to shoot the ball there. He doesn't know which way to catch it. He's either very good with both hands or he's got no idea what he's doing. Jay Rich again pulls up and bangs down another 3 ball. There's nothing he can't do. He's been one of my most reliable players early and he's got me through most of the challenges. Bit of a pick and roll there between Draymond and Big Ben. Not much shooting there, so you'd hope they were driving to the basket. Look at him, Big J Rich, there's nothing, he just stands out there and just bangs 3s. So we've got the 2 Warrior 23s on this roster today. Not confusing at all. Big Coos just smooth down the lane. He's been a handy player too. He comes off the bench, he's one of my more reliable bench contributors. You go and look at this here, look at the teamwork, making the dream work. Kicks it back, Big Brook. He's knocked it in. So we're happy with the squad here. We're just trying to get a good combination of guys who can do a little bit of everything. Defend, nice bit of defence there. Big drain, this on the break. Oh, that's smooth. That's horrible. Oh boy. Look at the ball movement there. That is some not good basketball. Does anything good at all happen? Yes, back to Draymond. And that is not a great bit of play, but we got the 2 points. We cruised through that one pretty easily. Got for a pretty slow start in that one, but we got up there in the end and took care of business. Here, Big Ben at it. Nice tight game against Indiana here. We don't put on a great display of hoops here, that's for sure. You just don't see this level of quality on all the YouTube channels, do you? Only here you see some absolutely abysmal play. But we're home now, we're up by 3, so we've won the game over, and no scores are tied. We've just let Victor bang a game-tying 3. So Jay Rich is devastated, but here's some smart moves. Watch this for some play. Game-winning play. Run a pick and roll between Ben and Draymond. Look at the shooting there. And we kick it out to Mark for a wide-open shot. That is a horrible possession to win the match. But Jay Rich, Mr. Reliable, he comes good for us in overtime. There's nothing he can't do. Conley, ball game. We've got up. We did not play well in that. I probably deserved to lose that challenge, but we hung on. And because I'm a good sport about it and Draymond doesn't run it in, oh, he's dunked with 0.3 of a second left. That's a bit of a Draymond move really. He's pretty happy with himself too there, dunking with absolutely no one near him. Yeah, Mike Conley's like, yeah, get stuffed mate, we won the game. Yeah, good on you Draymond, good on you for dunking it with 0.3 of a second. Jason Richardson perennially looks unhappy, doesn't he? He still thinks he's on those early 2000 Warriors teams that won about 18 games a year. And then when they got good, he was gone. And this here's new. So with your tokens, you can jump into the old Emerald rewards. There's 30 players in there, and they cost you 3 tokens each. There's some nice players in this list, and we had a good look through them. We went with my man Jarrett Jack, Mr. Reliable. He's one of the more clutch players in the NBA, and I feel he's been very, very underrated for what he brings. He can come off the bench, he can give you points, solid player. Jalen was always one of my favourites, and you've got to give the people what they want, as Jalen would say. This version comes without a baseball bat, so that's a bit disappointing. But Big Jalen, he just slots straight into that lineup. Big Draymond, we we've flubbed him out for this game. Give big Blake Griffin, as you can see, contracts. Contracts are a killer in this mode. I've very rarely got any, and I find with any of my winnings, I've pretty much just got to top up and buy contracts. And as you can see here, we've also had to go and get Mike Bibby. The reason we needed Mike, we needed 3 Grizzlies players so we could compete in this next challenge. So we went with Big Mike. And with most of my new players, when they add a squad, I try and get them an early touch, an early basket. And if you've seen any pictures of Mike Bibby recently, good God, he has become a monster. He is much bigger than he ever was in his NBA career. He looks younger. He looks like an absolute savage of a man. He looks like a man that's eaten Mike Bibby. And he's a pretty solid player, so we're happy to pick him up. And he's a good player to have for these early challenges as well. He's a pretty solid point guard, and I'm pretty happy to have him in the team. We've got a bit more offense now. Big Blake, he just ran it down the court there. They were trying to close the court down and probably try and get back into it, maybe get a foul there late in the game. But Big Blake just took off down the court and he threw down a very nice dunk. Blake plays pretty nicely in this game. He's very athletic, can get down the court pretty well. He can shoot alright, so he's a handy player. We don't have him in the squad all the time, and this is our first look at Domination. We started with the Brooklyn Nets. Here we go, here's this lineup. Big Jalen Rose, as I said, one of the Fab Five. He was probably ahead of his time. He probably suits the modern game a little bit better, Jalen. He was not big on defence, and he could just bang threes, and he could handle the ball. I can see him playing pretty well on that current Rockets team, actually. My man Jay Rich, he had to endure some tough years at the Warriors, but he was always one of my favourite players, the back-to-back dunk champ. Yeah, Big Ben, Australia's favourite, Big Ben, the cover athlete of 2K19 here in Australia, and he makes Australians very proud. And look here, Big Joel. Big Joel's come off the auction house, and I thought I had to have him. My team's already loaded with centres, but I still thought that Big Joel... By God, it's Brett Brown's music. Brett Brown's just come out of the shadows. So we were very, very happy to add Big Joel to the squad. And there's Jalen, very smooth jump shot. He can knock him down. Big Ben doing some post-up work. Big Joel, that was a horrible shot, but it went in. It was highly contested, and sometimes those shots do go in. They probably go in at a little bit higher rate than what you'd think, but... yeah, Big Joel knocked it down. Big body, good screen. Connolly takes it to the rack and one. He's pretty happy with himself. Jalen's good on those quick releases. He got a very nice smooth shot, and he's one of my favourite players to use so far. There's the ever reliable Kuz. He'll just come on and give you points. Athletic. Finds himself wide open. Big Joel, the monster. And one cool thing there is he's got the dynamic duos with Ben Simmons, so they get a bit of a stat boost when they play with each other. And you can see it lighting up there, the twin icon that they've got 2 players. So they're the only duo I've got at the moment, so they're of good value, 2 of my favourite players. The King James, he's a professional bench warmer in this squad. I actually forget he's there. Big Joel, very clumsy, just dropped the ball but made it work. There's Joel drawing a double team, kicking out to Conley. And that's a dagger 3. And because we cleaned up Domination, you get 3 packs, all from the Brooklyn Nets. Jesus, this is exciting. The Brooklyn Nets logo, that's handy. That limitless range, that probably sells alright on the auction house. And now we've got the Nets court pack. Might even use the Nets court later on, because it is pretty cool. Barclays Arena is a nice stadium. I've been there, pretty cool. The black and white pop's quite nice, so we may even use that at a later date. And here we go. We're going to have a Nets player. Geez, I hope it's Timofey Mozgov. Timofey probably doesn't even play for the Nets. I just assume he's there, and I want him. It's a contract. It's a hustle rebounder. And speaking of hustle rebounders back in the day, Kenneth Threed was one of the finest. There's Bibbs, just driving there. Just did a quick challenge here against the Hornets, and by God, we played badly in this game. We were very, very lucky to pull out here. Big Ben. He came good down the end. Look at that. He doesn't know which hand to shoot with, does he? He looks awkward with both. Big Joel's been cross-body blocked. It's a Zeller sighting. And Zeller, he does not think this is a foul. He's livid. He's livid. What have I done wrong there? I've fouled out of the game. There was no contact here. Big Ben, look at that for a replay. He's just broken Joel in half. The cameraman's dead. He's thought he's seen a murder. And Joel's back up. Oh, thank God. We've just bought him off the auction house, And we're going to finish up with a bit of a sneaky pack. We got up in that challenge. What have we got here? Oh, we've got an emerald. We've got an emerald. Is it going to be a good one? A contract. A break starter. A Phoenix Suns jersey. I don't mind that. And Dave Yeager. I don't mind Big Dave. Who did we get? We got the smooth-moving Aaron Gordon. Actually pretty happy with that. He might even get in. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that one, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Maybe hit the old subscribe button. Would love to hear from you about your My Team. Who are you using? Who are your favourite players? And who are you looking to get to next? Thanks very much for watching.